Hey guys, welcome back to Coin Knowledge. So we're going to be taking a look at three low cap RWA projects that I think are getting pretty cheap, pretty undervalued right now. But as always, nothing in this video is financial advice. Just giving you guys my opinion, looking at some projects that I particularly like. But there's many projects in the RWA narrative here. So if you don't like any of these projects, that's completely fine. Comment down below if there's projects that you would replace over the projects we're going to be covering today. And as always, if you get value out of the video here, you guys could subscribe to the channel and like the video. Your support means a lot. So we take a look at RWA. Well, obviously, we've been speculating on RWA being one of the hottest narratives this cycle. And I still, we've seen RWA run a few times. It actually has performed quite well so far this cycle, since 2023 here. Literally, it is holding up stronger than other narratives as well. But I do truly think that we have not yet seen a true RWA run as far as seeing other projects in the narrative go completely parabolic. We have been seeing sector leaders like Mantra here performing against the market conditions and the market trend here, actually up massively so far in February, up 40% alone over the last 7 days. Whereas we see a lot of other projects in the narrative that are, quite down. But again, today is mainly to cover three low caps here. So with these low caps, obviously they're high risk, potentially high reward. They could, not make recovery. They could go to zero, even though I don't think that is likely for any of these three. But just realize, with these low caps, especially in these current market conditions, the volatility is extremely high. Now, I'm not saying to go buy any of these. I'm just saying that maybe if you're lacking in RWA, especially if you're looking for a little bit more of a low cap side in the narrative, then these are three options that you could add to your watch list. Do a little bit more of your own research and look into them before making a decision on if it is right for you or not. So without further ado, we'll take a look at Parcel here. And again, real fast, we've talked about all of these projects extensively in individual videos on the channel. So you can definitely find that on this channel here if you want a little bit more of deep dives as well. But if we look at Parcel, real, simple thesis here. If you're bullish on the Solana ecosystem, now, yes, we have been seeing Solana get hammered here recently with, some major launches not going that well within the ecosystem. But I do still think that Solana overall, when we actually zoom out and look at where it could potentially be going by the end of the cycle, I do personally still remain very bullish on Solana, even though, yes, the current, memes recently have been crushing it as far as a negative price action and overall hurting the ecosystem. I think as a whole, Solana will make a recovery. I mean, there's no denying that Solana, at least to me, is not going anywhere. I don't think this is going to kill Solana. It's, short-term pain, but I am bullish on the overall Solana ecosystem. So if you combine that thesis and then look at RWA plays on Solana, there's not that many. To me, I still think that Parcel is one of the potential leaders, especially when we're looking at low caps for Solana RWA picks here. If you're not familiar with what Parcel is, it is a real estate trading platform. Now, a majority of RWA projects do focus on more of the real estate side of things, but with Parcel, you can actually speculate and kind of, put your money on real estate pricing throughout the world here. So that's how Parcel acts as a platform. It's more of an index, literally letting you speculate on rising and falling real estate prices here as well. Now, a couple things when we look at Parcel, they have been around for a little bit now. Now, yes, we're seeing them up a little bit on the day, but they are still down 50% on the 1 month. Now, this chart does look obviously scary. It looks horrendous. A lot of red there. But you could also look at the flip side here and potentially look at a project again. Not saying to go buy this or anything like that. I'm just saying that when you look at a project that is fundamentally sound in the right narrative, doing the right things, when you see a chart like this, it is potentially giving you a point of entry. I mean, you want to buy something like, for as an example, Parcel at the current level, rather than wait for RWA to take off again and wait for it to get back over 50 cents. Now is the time you want to be having these projects on your watch list and taking a look at them. But as always, the market is still volatile right now. No one's expecting, RWA or the overall market to blow up tomorrow and go to the upside. This is why you DCA slowly into quality projects that you, again, after doing your own research, you make the determination if you want to get involved or not. But to me, when we look at Parcel here at a $30 million market cap on Solana, they have a working product. They've obviously have strong backing by the Solana Foundation, by Coinbase. We see their exchange listings are, top tier. We saw them get a Coinbase listing towards the end of last year. They have Bybit, OKX, KuCoin, and a few others, Crypto.com. So they have multiple tier 1 exchange listings, all the tier 2s, most of the tier 3s. So as far as exchange listings, they have it covered. Again, I believe that Solana as an overall ecosystem will make a strong comeback and it's not going anywhere. The only concern with Parcel here is that we are going to start seeing some of that dilution and unlocks happening quite quickly here for 2025, whereas last year, we were buying Parcel literally over the summertime here, but that was not a concern as far as dilution goes because they didn't really have unlocks until closer to the end of the year, beginning of 2025. So just be aware that Parcel does have dilution coming up in 2025 here. This is why you want to potentially, again, look at the vesting schedule. We're not going to get into it in this video, but we have in the past. But look at the vesting schedule of these projects, especially when you see a difference in circulating market cap and fully diluted here. Again, 30 million versus 140 million. And take a look at what the dilution will look like between now and potentially the end of 2025. Or if we do see, if and when, I should say, we see an RWA narrative, start to kick off and go on a parabolic run as an overall narrative, you want to have these projects already lined up here so you can act fast. You already know quality projects that you're looking at because in an RWA run, no matter how long it lasts, it could last maybe a couple weeks, couple months, maybe not even that long. Dilution might not be that much of a concern if you're trading it when the narrative is hot versus trying to hold something with, harsh unlocks long term. So this is why you want to look at these projects here. But for project number 1, I would definitely be looking at Parcel, at a $30 million market cap. It is literally coming all the way back down to when we were first entering this and even, beneath that as we were getting in about sub 20 cents here, around 15 to 20 cents. So it's actually beneath where we initially got into. But again, from its all-time highs of 83 cents and even more recently about that 60-cent level, it is down massively over 80% here. So if we look at it that way in the project, again, in the RWA space on Solana, it is one of the best options in my opinion here. Project number 2 is a newer project that, yes, they've been building for years now at this point, but they recently TGE'd. Now, when we look at them, they're also down 50%. Now, again, you have to take price action aside because literally the whole overall market is volatile. A lot of negativity is going on as far as price action goes on some of your favorite altcoins. So do not let price action alone over the last 7 days, 1 month, really determine the quality of a project. You want to look into these projects to see, are they building? Do they actually have working products? Are they vaporware? What's the dilution look like? That's what we want to look at. Now, when we look at Lingo, again, it's at a $22 million market cap right now. It's, in my opinion, I don't like saying the word cheap, but it is getting to a pretty good level here. Obviously, we saw this TGE in December around 56 cents here. So it is down also quite massively. But when we look at Lingo, one, they have a nice website as well. I wish it was more of just a tab here on the right. You can just drag down. But it is a more rewarding, incentivized RWA ecosystem, literally aimed at rewarding its users as far as whoever interacts with Lingo. Now they have a lot of partnerships in this ecosystem. That's one thing that Lingo does have over a lot of other projects as well. So if they're gonna let you claim your rewards at thousands of brands over so many different countries, as well as we're looking at brands like Nike, Netflix, PlayStation, Uber, just to name a couple. So we look at projects that have the partnerships, have the backing, the funding. Lingo definitely looks enticing here, but again, it's a low cap. It could go either way here, so just have it on your watch list potentially if it's something that might interest you and take a look at it. But they are building on Base versus Parcel on Solana. Lingo's on Base. Again, in my opinion, I think Base is also a hot ecosystem. And we are seeing both these get hit a little hard, whether it's by the AI agent narrative or memes recently. But make no mistake, both these ecosystems, in my opinion, will make a comeback. So that is Lingo as a third. Now, another project that is building not only on base but also BNB, as they made a strong partnership that we covered recently, with the partnership between Bricken and BNB here. Bricken, we've talked about it again multiple times here, guys. So nothing, surprising or new here. But, we look at it, Bricken is, has the intent and the aim of tokenizing literally everything, underneath their ecosystem. Now, one thing with Bricken that, we've liked since the beginning here, as we did get in quite early, they have a massive team when you look at the website, of Bricken. Huge team here. Doc's team, you see all their experience. They make key partnerships. I don't know if I can pull up that BNB partnership as it was a little while ago now at this point. Again, we did cover it here as well. So if we look far back enough, again, it was some time ago, they did make an official partnership with BNB, which obviously we've seen BNB, the BNB or the Binance Smart Chain having kind of a little mini season here recently. So I think that projects that are built on BNB are definitely going to, see some attention in this cycle as well. But again, we see it with BNB here, they're shouting out Bricken as well, saying it is, one of the top tokenization assets, on BNB. So that is a strong partnership we want to take a look at. Now, one thing about Bricken is the dilution here is very, very minimal, as it has been up for some time. And when we look at the overall chart, yes, also down 40% for the 1 month, but when we look how it's performed, over the last year, it actually has stayed pretty consistent around these regions. Now, it did get up over 55 cents here in December when the markets were quite bullish, after November, obviously. And then even when the market was down heavily, we saw Bricken show a lot of strength here, throughout January, February, and it wasn't until very recently, where a lot of other projects were already bleeding out. Bricken was holding strong until, again, literally the beginning of February, as we saw it finally come down. Now, I say it as a good thing because if you were waiting for a potential entry point into Bricken, again, it was being stubborn there for a little bit, but I do think that now is a potential great entry point into Bricken. Obviously, not financial advice, do your own research. But when we look at a project that, same thesis, has strong partnerships, has a working platform, has a docs team, is still building, and has reacted quite well whenever RWA does perform and go up with the overall market. Bricken, especially for a low cap at a $15 million circulating market cap, in my opinion, is a great option. So that is only, 3 projects here in the RWA space. Bricken, Lingo as a newer play, Parcel on Solana. Again, there are so many other projects in the RWA sector. And, if none of these projects, tickle your fancy, you can literally comment some of the other projects that maybe your guys', are your favorites over the ones we talked about today. Now, by no means, again, are these the top 3 best low caps in RWA. These are just 3 that we've talked about quite often on the channel that I think that are quite solid, for anyone that is lacking RWA in their portfolio. And if you're looking for a low cap, again, under 50 million, I personally don't think you can go wrong with any of these. But again, some of them do have dilution. So just be aware of that when you are getting in, potentially invested into them. Take a look at the vesting of any project you get into, obviously, before you get invested. That is just my opinion and what I'd recommend strongly. But as always, guys, let me know in the comments below, what are some of the other projects in RWA that you like over potentially these projects? Or if you like these projects, which one of the 3 are your favorite? Comment below and let me know if you're bullish on RWA as well. And as always, thank you for taking the time to watch the video here today. If you guys got value out of the content here, if you guys could like the video, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share the video. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. All right, see you guys.